Everyone, and once again welcome to another video from Crack It YouTube channel. And every one of us know that we are approaching the Asia Cup. When it comes to Asia Cup, the rivalry between Sri Lanka, Pakistan and India peaks up, where Bangladesh and Afghanistan also step up. So we are going to analyze these five teams according to their performance so far, so we can see how are they ready, or how much they have the options, and how they are geared up for this Asia Cup challenge. To begin our analysis, we want to start with bowling, because all these five teams have very strong bowling lineup. So the first thing we are going to analyze, how many runs they give up for each wicket they take. Surprisingly, if you see the graph, India and Pakistan are almost together. So what a contest we are going to have. The likes of India's quicks and the Pakistanis and the spinners, they're going to be balanced. Then the mid one is Sri Lanka. Unfortunately, Sri Lankan pace attack doesn't seem to be a strong one as the spin, whereas Afghanistan seem to be the best performing bowling unit out of all five, surprisingly, and Bangladesh is not far either. You could just say Sri Lanka's thing. From the likes of this graph, we can clearly have a conclusion that they depend so much on their spin, which is obviously the evident with the revival of Hasaranga and then Tikshana. They rely heavily on both of them, and when Tikshana and Hasaranga perform, Sri Lanka thrives. But look at the difference they have between their pace and the spin. So obviously the one area out of all these teams, a team has weakness, obviously Sri Lanka, but their quicks need to step up. Hopefully we can see they learn something from Lasith Maling. See runs per wicket, now we see balls per wicket. How many balls do they need to take a wicket? If you just really see India and Pakistan, they are very much close to each other. They are chasing each other. What a contest we are going to have. And from Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, you just really say their spin bowling department is stronger than their fast bowling department. Obviously, we all know from that one. But when you see the India and Pakistan, though their fast bowling department is working hard, India is missing Bumrah, Pakistan is missing Shaheen Afridi. How much this is going to impact, or you can see how much these things are going to be valid in the Asia Cup. But don't forget, they still have some world-class quick bowlers who can live up to the expectation that we want. So it's a very interesting thing. We have seen enough of the bowling, and now see what's going to happen in the batting department. If you are a fan of India or Pakistan, you must be very happy to see this squad. But if you are a fan of Sri Lanka, Bangladesh, you might not be that happy, but maybe an Afghanistan fan, half, 50-50. Now see, we have arranged the teams from left to right in the alphabetical order. So starting from Afghanistan, we finish in the rightmost corner with Sri Lanka. The blue block is all about power plays, the orange one is all about mid overs, and the grey one is all about death overs. And see India and Pakistan for a moment. They are pretty much same to each other, but where in the power plays, India is slightly edging against Pakistan. So is this going to be the crucial factor? We never know. Let's see how it goes. But when you see Sri Lanka, they are obviously performing below the average or the mark. But we can be very happy about one thing. Last time when we started the channel and analyzed for the World T20, the average was 31. Now they are 39. But that's an area of bother for them, because they are not yet settled with the proper batting partners or batters to come there to play that. But if you are an Afghanistan fan, see, you also have some things to be very happy. You want to analyze all five teams at one point, and this is all about how many runs per wicket. So we are going to see where these teams lose too many wickets. So in power plays, who lose more wickets, in mid overs, who lose more wickets. And if you could just say, you can see from the likes of the graph, each team, India and Pakistan, have pretty much the same pattern in the power plays and the mid overs. But you see Bangladesh and Afghanistan lose lesser wicket in the mid overs than their power plays. So that's something very interesting for us to understand, because you lose very less wicket. Maybe the tracks they are playing, or the grounds or the conditions they are playing suits them, because we have taken data for the past 2 years to put it together. But that's very surprising for me. But if you could go to the death overs, where something interesting happens, Pakistan loses more wicket than even Sri Lanka. So this is what where the data is kind of surprises. It could be because they have a lesser run rate in the power plays. and they have a proper consolidation in the mid overs. So are they trying to accelerate little too much in the death overs? That takes so much wickets out of Pakistan. For us to see, it's a very interesting graph. So we see if this pattern continues, it's very hard for us to pick a clear winner out of all these things, because each of these 5 teams are capable of beating each other. So T20 cricket is all about hitting sixes in different phases. So we have analyzed who takes more balls or who takes lesser ball to hit a six. If you are a Bangladeshi fan, this is not going to help you, because their way of hitting sixes in the power plays is horrendous. They take more than 60 balls per six. That means technically they don't hit a six in the power play. But when you come, India is sort of having a pretty much same figures in all phases. So the mid overs, them and Afghanistan seems to be hitting more sixes. Maybe India has the likes of Surya Kumar Yadav, Rishabh Pant, Hardik Pandya, so they are hitting so many sixes. But when it comes to the death overs, you can see something very surprising. Pakistan only take 9 balls to hit a 6. That's the lowest. Maybe in the last slide we have seen they lose too many wickets. We talked whether are they accelerating little too much. So this could be the reason they are hitting more sixes. And if you come to the rightmost column to Sri Lanka, that's where the problem lies. They are almost below the standard of the other teams. Okay, forget about Bangladesh. They are playing in the slow, low turn tracks, so their way of playing is completely different. But when it comes to Sri Lanka and the death overs, they take 17 balls per 6. That means in the death overs, you only have 36 balls. So technically, they are hitting only 2 6 out of the 6 overs, which pretty much evident. We have seen some collapses, some very bad batting in the death overs. So that's seriously an area, if you are a Sri Lankan fan, you should consider about it. So we have done an analysis based on what we can take out of the data, but we have to give a big disclaimer, because this data might be completely different, because we never know how the UAE tracks are going to play. Because we have seen in 2020 they were assisting the quicker bowlers very much, in 2021 they were assisting the slow bowlers very much, but when it comes to the World T20, it was a perfect mixture of both these things. And more importantly, you could just see out of all these 5 teams, I would say only Sri Lanka and Pakistan seem to be playing the consistent number of players, or the same set of players. It's very happy for a Sri Lankan fan to hear that Sri Lankan team kind of at least remained a bit composed out of all these things. But when it comes to India, the Indian team which plays one series is completely different from the Indian team which plays the other series, and the team which is going to play the Asia Cup is completely different from the other team as well. So it's so many other factors to consider, and we have to give this disclaimer, because we have only made this prediction based on the data. So we will see, and if you think out of all these things, which team has the proper balance and which team has the more chance to win the Asia Cup, please do mention in the comment section. And if you think this video is worth sharing, please share it with your friends and tell us what you feel about our analysis. Thank you very much for tuning in the video. We'll catch you in another video, and until then, if you like the videos, please do subscribe. Be safe, be happy, cheer for your favorite team. We'll see you soon.